Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
Oh, yeah, let's do some sports concepts and rationalizations. And if you bear with us at the very end, we'll give out a wonderful prize pack that includes what, Steve Booty?
It's a double dip. First, you're going to get tickets to go see Rudy featuring the Jacksonville Symphony tomorrow night at Daly's Place.
Excellent.
And you'll get the last slot in the drawing for the grand prize, which is a pair of tickets to Jaguars Steelers Sunday afternoon with admission to their game day tailgate experience for two, complete with food and beverage before the game.
When is the official drawing, Steve Booty?
It'll be after the show today. Our friend Taylor up at the front desk will draw a winner and phone up the champion of life.
And you're one of 5 candidates.
You're one of 5.
So you got a good shot at winning this
Really
thing.
good.
You got a good shot.
20% chance.
Worst case is you're still going to see Rudy tomorrow night with the Symphony, and you can root for him to this time die at the end.
All right, I'll kick this thing off by saying this, Jeff Prosser.
What does your hat say? Do you know?
He's wearing a beanie, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Barcelona.
It's
Okay.
very cold outside.
Yeah. It's very
From
the
your
letter.
La Liga days.
The letter combo that I can see made no.
In case you guys
sense.
care, by the way, about little soccer, USA played England yesterday.
They got
Don't
whacked.
care. Yeah.
3-0.
Yeah, it was bad.
England.
It was the legendary Andy Rooney's final game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not Andy Rooney. No.
Wayne Rooney.
You know what? By the way, it's funny you guys.
It's Andy's son.
You guys have.
A lot of people
It's funny
don't know
you
that.
guys have brought up the soccer because I conspired with
Football.
Beef today in our pre-show meeting, and we're going to start a little segment that's going to air 3 times a week, and it's going to be called Soccer NASCAR Hockey. Soccer NASCAR Hockey. We're going to give you one quick, tidbit from each of those 3 sports that are woefully undercovered.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It will.
I'll ask you this
I'll
question,
make it
though.
a 6 o'clock bath.
And here's my question.
Mhm.
So the Golden State Warriors lost last night, but I'm talking about the suspension. Why is it this, Jeff Prosser? Kevin Durant, who I want desperately to be a New York Knick, would be great. Why is he so much more unlikable than Draymond Green to me? That's my question to you. Kevin Durant's a better player.
I'll tell you why.
You'd rather have
I got your
you'd
answer.
rather have Kevin Durant on your team, and yet when I like Draymond Green better than I like
I'll
KD.
tell you why.
All right,
This
go
is
ahead.
so easy, and I think a lot of men feel this way.
All right.
It's part of our
I'm
nature.
listening. Answer the question. I'm ready.
You like Draymond Green because he's not a big baby. He's not an oversensitive defensive. If he makes a mistake, he owns it, rolls off his back. It's business as usual, and he means it.
Right.
He doesn't hold a grudge. He doesn't, heat of the moment. He got ticked. Hey, look, I know what I'm doing. I'm not some schlep here. I'm also an all-star. I wasn't planning on just falling down. Sorry I made a mistake. You're a B, Durant. And Durant is a big baby.
He's a big baby.
Yeah.
And he showed it again last
And
night.
he showed
after
it
the
again
game.
last night. Don't ask me that again.
Right.
Really? Do I need to respond with yes, sir? Shut up.
Right.
He doesn't get it. So you don't like Kevin Durant because he doesn't get it. He's an ass.
Now, with that said, I certainly hope he
Sure.
opts out and goes to the Knicks.
Great player. The question I had is
I
kind
don't
of
know
a
what kind
follow-up.
of leader is he, though.
Well, this is what I asked Beef earlier.
Could he win a team if he was
No.
he's NBA Finals MVP, but if he was the alpha dog and had to do it every night?
Well, didn't we see that in Oklahoma City?
That's what I'm
I
wondering.
mean, in the prime, he had a 3-1 lead on the Warriors,
Yeah.
who didn't have him.
Yeah.
And they couldn't finish it. So
Yeah. All right.
I'm not so sure about that. The question I have, Dan, is when did he become a bad guy? Kevin Durant was a fun-loving, nice kid when he came in. Remember the video of him playing flag football and
I'll give
soccer?
I'll answer that with another story. When Gus Bradley was the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I tell this story now because Gus is no longer here, and very likable man, Gus Bradley, great guy, doing well, by the way, out in L.A. as a D coordinator. But anyway, one particular start of the season, one of his starts of the season, he brought the media in and said, guys, I want to talk to you for a second. And it was then Ryan Robinson who was working here, and he gathered us around. And
Legend.
Gus came into the meeting room, and a lot of the media who were going to cover the Jags that season, most of us were there. It was one of those early, probably pre-training camp, start of the season type things, if I remember correctly. And Gus just said, I just want to talk to you guys about kind of what I'm all about here and what I'm trying to do with these guys. And he rolled a tape on Kevin Durant. And the whole idea was Kevin Durant was talking about being a servant leader. And A servant leader is someone who doesn't care about getting all the accolades, but does things for everybody. And Kevin Durant,
It's kind of like me.
when he was at OKC, he knew the names of the guys who worked this, in the stadium.
Yeah.
And he would sit and talk to them, and those types of things so impressed Gus about Kevin, about KD, that this is kind of what he was trying. This is what he was after. Not to mention how talented he was on the court. But anyway, so back then I was like, man, this Kevin Durant's what a guy. Well, I think it started to turn when he went to Golden State.
I wonder, Dan,
and fairly or unfairly, he hasn't been able to handle the fact. And it was hard on LeBron, too. LeBron did the same thing.
Well, I was going to say, I wondered, did KD follow in LeBron's footsteps and saw, well, here's a guy who was Mr. Nice Guy and he couldn't get it done.
Right.
He put on the villain hat and joined a better team.
Right.
But I don't think Kevin Durant goes back to being the nice guy, the loved guy. I think he's always going to be sensitive.
Maybe, just maybe, he'll follow LeBron's footsteps and go back to a team that, could use him better.
Dude has a burner account.
Yeah, burner.
It's a burner account that he goes on to commend Kevin Durant, who is, by the way, himself.
He's never been the best statistically.
He's a really nice player. I don't hate him either.
Yeah.
He's not that egregious,
No.
but he had the world. He
I'm
was
not
a nice
talking about
guy.
KD anymore. I'm changing subject.
Oh, okay.
He's never been the best statistically. He's
You're talking about Russell Wilson.
a little bit clumsy, but he's a man's man quarterback in the NFL, and he wins. He's won every year. He's won. One year he won 8-8 in his whole career.
He may do that again this year.
And one year he won 7-8. I'm talking about Ben Roethlisberger.
I think you could have been talking about Russell Wilson.
Yes. What are your thoughts of Big Ben as he comes to town?
I have his stock has gone up for me as the years have gone by. Like even just a couple, 3 years ago. Because here's the one thing that he's got a little Favre in him. And what I mean is he can have a game where he looks awful. Look at last year's regular season game against the Jags. He looked terrible. He threw 5 picks. Two of them.
I guess I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, so I respect the heck out of him. He really keeps plays alive. I don't think he gets enough credit either for managing a very dysfunctional team. Look at his cast of characters, Dan, and how they've acted through the years. I mean, look at Antonio Brown, streaming Facebook Live from locker rooms and, getting in trouble and wanting the ball and throwing histrionics on the sideline. His franchise feature running back, Willie or won't he even play. So I think I even adds to the respect that Roethlisberger is owed because he's had to manage such a dysfunctional group. He's been a part of that dysfunction at times. But right now, Dan, there aren't many guys I'd rather have.
Yeah.
I mean, now the one thing that's interesting about Roethlisberger, we'll see if it plays out.
Listen, he's annoyed you through a lot of the years because of his histrionics.
He's dramatic. He's a drama queen.
He's a drama queen.
Yeah, but it doesn't stick with me like it does with some.
Yeah. So
I mean, there are others that I just can't. I don't go back on. But I mean, I got a lot of respect for what he did with this team this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they were 1-2-1. Everyone's talking about Le'Veon Bell. They got Antonio Brown is getting arrested for throwing furniture off of balconies. That thing was a mess.
Yeah.
And to win 5 in a row and to beat some good teams along the way. One thing about Ben, though, through his career, he's much better at home than on the road. So maybe that can play into the Jaguars' favor. Now he's into the Jaguars' favor. Now he's going to have to beat a defense that includes Jalen Ramsey, who Roethlisberger had nothing but good things to say about yesterday. I thought Jalen yesterday acquitted pretty well for himself. I don't know why he feels he needs to take an antagonistic tone with the fans, even when trying to explain that he's not antagonistic with the fans. He is. He's insulting to them. But I thought the most important thing of Jalen Ramsey's press conference yesterday was reaffirming a commitment that this is where he wants to be. What say you?
I just think Jalen's a young kid who's immature and needs to grow up a little bit, but he's an immense talent. He's not going anywhere. He knows it. They know it. Everybody knows it. So I think he reacted emotionally on Monday, and I thought he was pretty good yesterday. I enjoyed. I like when athletes will sit there and you can go with the back and forth. You can get it. Well, you said that. This is kind of what you did, and it's like, well, yeah, we were frustrated too, man. We're frustrated too. Y'all act like we're not
But
frustrated.
they don't. That's stupid. No one's acting like you're not
Yeah.
frustrated. No fan has accused you of not caring.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's happened in the past.
Yeah, I think you're riding
Overreading it?
Yeah, riding them too hard, and it's not that big a deal, and nothing that a couple pick game
Oh,
won't take care of.
But I'm not strictly basing that on me.
No, yeah, I
mean, it's with a fan. I think
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
trying to say, I'm not necessarily saying what
Yeah.
I'm saying right now isn't 100% mine. I'm just
Right.
speaking.
No.
I'm here in 6 o'clock and we're throwing the sound bites up and the phones ring off the hook.
You're a voice of the fans. You're a man of the people.
A lot of people say that.
I like that.
Yeah, I like to be that way. To be honest with you, I'm not
You
gonna
got
lie.
their back.
Huh?
You got their back.
Any problem or complete agreement with the MVP picks yesterday? Mookie Betts from the Boston Red Sox and Christian Yelich. So congratulations to the Marlins who managed to trade away not just
But they have a new logo.
Yeah, they got a new logo.
They got a new logo.
Colors, Dan
But
Caliente red.
the ability to trade away MVPs in back-to-back years is remarkable.
I really believe they should deal JT Realmuto. If I was him, I'd be asking for one because
the
maybe he
Braves
can
are
go win one.
The Braves are hot and heavy after him. It looks like the Braves are going to end up with Real Muto and Michael Brantley and not much more.
I don't know that they're going to trade him in the division. They're going to have to give up a lot if they want him because
We got a lot.
The word was in South Florida they weren't. But yeah, I have no problem with Christian Yelich. I think he deserves it, and I think
Really
he
came on late. What a
I think
finish.
he really won it the last 2
I
weeks.
agree.
No doubt.
Yeah,
I agree, and I was stumping for my guy.
yeah,
Javi,
and your
but
guy should have been. They were neck and neck. They were
that
there.
last
and
2
then
weeks, Yelich pulled ahead.
he pulled ahead.
Didn't
and,
he homer like 8 straight games or 6 straight games or
he
something?
did a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff, and he won the batting crown by 25 points. And I have no problem with Mookie Betts.
I do
winning
have
it
one.
either.
I do have one addition to the 10-minute drill. Why not?
Yeah.
Shut up, Chip.
Thank
Okay.
you. Does it? One of the top prospects in the draft had a very visible.
Yeah, Eddie Oliver.
He had an outburst on the sidelines last night to his coach for being asked to follow the same rules as the rest of the team. Does that
Yeah.
have any reciprocal as we get into draft season? Is there
Not
any?
one
Is there
lick.
any flair there?
No, the only concern about Eddie Oliver right now is that he's missed 4 games, and that's why he's fallen a little bit on the boards. He's a tremendous talent, and I'm sure he's very frustrated. I thought
Applewhite.
Major Applewhite handled it perfectly.
Yes, he did.
He did. I
Kept
love
calm.
the kid. It's simple rule, but we ask everybody to adhere to the rules. So
He did lose his mind.
yeah,
I mean, Ed Oliver had one of those big Gore-Tex coats on the
Yeah.
sideline, and
Yeah.
the rule at Houston is if you're not a starter, you don't wear a coat.
yeah.
You save them for the guys coming off
Yeah.
the field. And Applewhite was a little ticked because it was only like 55 degrees.
Yeah.
So he thought it was a little much, and he went over to Ed Oliver and asked him to, or didn't ask him, told him to take the coat off.
Yeah.
And Oliver just lost his mind, and
Yeah.
he separated and didn't let it go, and did not come back out with his team in the second half.
Yeah.
So anyway,
He'll be
Top 10
fine.
pick.
Listen, I'm not sure he plays again. He probably won't for Houston. He probably will
I think
go
that's
the
a
Bosa
smart-
route
That's a smart move.
and
guys from Houston?
and call it. I'm going to go with caller number 4.
This is the
Speaking of
big
calling
one.
it.
This is the
Caller
final
number 4,
one. to go-
last chance
That's
to
it.
get
Yeah.
to get locked in for Steeler tickets, and you will get to go see Rudy tomorrow night.
Rudy with the Symphony tomorrow night at Daly's Place.
If you're reviewing, we went callers number 1, 2, 3, and today caller number 4.
Wow.
Stay tuned tomorrow. Caller
Yeah.
number 5.
If you're listening tomorrow at this time, it'll be caller number 5.
Pattern development.
Mm-hmm.
This is the drill. It's an
Yes.
All-American Roll-Off and Recycling
Let's
Friday.
pick 'em. Let's
And,
pick 'em.
Friday 5-pack is next.